In this video, we'll be learning about forces. First, we got to start about exactly what is a force. A force is a pretty simple definition. It's a push or pull that an agent exerts on an object. The agent is the thing exerting the force. That agent could be your hand pushing down on a table. It could be the earth pulling down on you. We commonly call that the force of gravity. Any object can be an agent. As we study forces, we'll be using the symbol F to represent a force. And you'll notice I put a vector symbol on top of it. That's because force is a vector, which means that it has both a magnitude and a direction. There are two types of forces that we'll study: contact forces and field forces. Contact forces are defined as any force where the agent must make contact with the object. In other words, the two things must be touching. With a field force, the agent does not need to touch the object. Contact forces are pretty easy to think of examples for. Anything where you are touching an object, you're exerting a contact force on it, even if you're just barely touching that object. Or maybe you play tennis and your tennis racket touches the tennis ball. That would be a contact force. Perhaps soccer is more your thing. Anytime your foot is in contact with the soccer ball, you are exerting a contact force on that soccer ball. But as soon as that soccer ball is no longer in contact with your foot, you are no longer exerting a force on it. Field forces are a bit different. There's actually only a few known field forces. Can you think of any forces that are exerted on you even when you're not in contact with anything? Hopefully, when I asked that question, you thought of the force of gravity. Gravity is the field force that we most commonly experience, but there's more than just gravity. Another field force that is pretty common, that I'm sure you have some experience with, is the magnetic force. Think about it. If I put two north poles near each other, they don't come in contact because they repel each other. They're exerting a force on each other even though they're not in contact, so that's a field force. A couple of other examples. We have the electric force. And then there's also two forces called the strong and weak nuclear forces. We'll focus in this class mainly on those first three: the gravitational force, the magnetic force, and the electric force. Stay tuned for future videos about a bit more details about forces.